There has been a huge demand from people, from civil society, that there has to be a specific and effective anti-corruption and grievance redress structure that is required. People have taken to the streets over the past 2 years to show the political establishment that there is a great disenchantment with the political establishment. People are fed up of corruption and people are fed up of their grievances and complaints not being redressed. Now, I think at this moment, there is a realization that this is pretty much the last session where legislative business will be conducted, and there is therefore a great urgency to bring in accountability legislations at this stage. Of course, there is also the added pressure by the electoral results that have come out in the 5 states where the ruling party has realized that there is a certain disenchantment amongst the people about their performance. The need for accountability has also been brought home by the electoral win of Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi in the 28 seats that they have captured. And I think Anna Hazare is sitting, and there are lots of organizations, including the NCPRI, that have been constantly engaging with the government, with all political parties, to say that this is extremely important and that people really demand it. So I think that they are responding electorally. They realize that none of the political parties want to go face elections in 2014 without having brought in any accountability legislations. Therefore, the urgency to try and bring in the Lokpal Bill. The demand for the Lokpal has basically arisen from the fact that there isn't an empowered and an independent investigating agency in the country. We have the CBI, which on the one hand is very empowered but is not adequately independent of the government, and on the other hand we have the CVC, which is independent of the government but is not adequately empowered. So the demand for the Lokpal really came from people saying that when there is so much corruption and it is exposed, there is really no proper, fair and free investigation that happens into those cases, and as a result a lot of the corrupt actually go free. So I feel that the passage of the Lokpal Bill is extremely significant because the CBI there are several provisions in the current bill that has got passed where the CBI will get far greater autonomy than it has got so far. The Lokpal is going to be an empowered body, and it will have its own independent machinery which will inquire into matters and which will also investigate into matters of corruption. So one should see a far stronger and more effective anti-corruption body, and a body to look into cases of corruption once the Lokpal comes into effect. I think that it's important for citizens also to remember that there isn't a silver bullet which is going to rid us of the problem of corruption in this country. The reason why corruption happens, and it's something that we have been saying for the longest time, there are deep systemic reasons for corruption to happen. Just the setting up of a Lokpal is not going to immediately rid us of all problems of corruption. It will need several steps, it will need several initiatives to be undertaken to actually rid India of the sort of corruption that people are expecting to see. So therefore, to say that this will meet up to expectations, I think it depends on what expectations we have. If the expectations we have are that it will empower people with a much more autonomous investigating agency to tackle issues of corruption, yes, I think it will go a very long way. But if we feel that this is something that's going to tackle all corruption, even high-powered corruption in the country, I'm not so sure that that is something that people will see immediately. And of course, this is something we've seen through all laws. It really depends on people, how they engage with the law and how they engage with the implementation of the law. And it's a long-term struggle, and it's a strife. So having the law, yes, it's a very good first step. But finally, how it sort of gets implemented is going to be how the pressure is kept up by civil society, how the government shows political will to implement the law once it's put in place,